Hello, and thank you for joining me on this presentation. My name is Al Pernia. I'm the founder and CEO of EverHealth. Just give you a little background on myself. Educationally, I have a undergraduate in chemical engineering and biochemistry and an MBA from USC. I started my professional life in the financial world, in the finance sector with American Express and Shearson Lehman Brothers, and from there, I got into the health and wellness industry. This presentation is to invite a small group of CEOs to become founding members and stakeholders and strategic partners in building a corporate proactive healthcare, a new corporate proactive healthcare model. Now, we're going to start inside their own companies and then go outside. In the process, we're going to change the trajectory of everyone's health and potentially affect millions of Americans. What's the most amazing with this plan of action is that we're not going to cost the CEOs any out-of-pocket expense. We're going to offer every stakeholder CEO an incredible return on investment from the business we generate working with their company, using the funds we originate for their employees to improve everyone's health and well-being. Now, why this matters is because our current healthcare system is just not sustainable. This idea that we're going to manage symptoms for the rest of everybody's life and ultimately go bankrupt is just not a viable way to go with our healthcare. So, what we think we need to do is address this economic crisis because 90% of healthcare spending is driven by chronic illness and mental health conditions. Almost 20% of GDP is spent on healthcare, but nobody's happy. And 76% of American adults report having at least one chronic illness. The solution, we believe, is EverHealth's multi-engine ecosystem. This is a combination of proprietary technologies programs that we have and we offer practitioners and consumers. The network of functional medicine doctors that we train and work with who can provide these programs, and a movement called Changing Life and Destiny, where we stage conferences, expos, executive retreats, and podcasts to get society to understand the importance of becoming proactive, using technologies to reverse aging, restore health, prevent disease, and promote wellness. So the idea is that the Changing Life and Destiny movement creates the awareness, the Functional Health Network of doctors provides the solutions, and we have all the programs and technologies that's being implemented. In the process, we create a scalable brand to promote proactive healthcare. Now, what we want to do is take these three platforms into the corporate world and provide proprietary corporate programs. Now, the question is, why corporations? And the answer is they hold the power to impact the masses, because we're not seeing a big move with this one-on-one approach of a practitioner seeing a patient and moving the needle. We feel that CEOs have the influence that they can change their employees' attitudes and behavior. And if we get hundreds of CEOs involved, we literally can create a movement that can impact millions of Americans. So as a result, we have formed this concept called 100 for America Committee. It's a network of 100 CEOs who are passionate about moving our healthcare system to a proactive model. The mission of the 100 for America Committee is, one, to redesign corporate wellness and create the incentives and funding for this new approach and provide the infrastructure and programs to ensure success. These 100 companies then will have access to the tax credit to fund wellness. For every 1,000 employees, they can access $600,000, and that's annual. So every year that can be renewed. They will have access to our executive wellness and longevity retreats, where we introduce these technologies designed exclusively for executives. They will have access to our Transformation 360 checkup, which gives employees control over blood sugar and body composition, the two main drivers of disease. And they will have these other optional offerings that include our Changing Life and Destiny Expo that gets people really excited about becoming proactive with their health, our Wellness Priority Kit, which gets people off over-the-counter medication. And there's a whole host of other programs that we have depending on what the company needs. Now, for the 100 for America founding members, we have these benefits for them to join us. First is to become an equity owner. If they invest $100,000, they're going to receive an equity stake in EverHealth at a very early stage valuation. The second is we're going to let them redeem that $100,000 investment in proprietary healthcare services for themselves and their employees, so they receive an immediate return on investment with that $100,000. The next is we're going to give them access to the tax credit funding. It's literally found money that they can now invest in health and wellness for their employees at no cost. And then obviously attend the Ritz-Carlton gathering for our CEOs to network and experience these new technologies, and ultimately receive a 27x return on their $100,000 investment by just spending the found money we give them on their employees' health through our programs. Now, let me give you some projections. The first year, we are projecting $20 million. Let me show you how we do this. Let's say we have 100 companies with this first group of CEOs, and each company has on average 250 employees. That means there's 25,000 employees that we're potentially working with. We generate $16 per employee money when we set up this tax credit for the company. The company is not paying us. It's paid from the system that has been set up in how we recoup through FICA. So we generate about $400,000 a month just from the $16 a month fees that we have. And then we have the $600 that's spent on health and wellness on the employees that comes through our programs and through our company. And that by itself generates about $15 million. So between the $400,000 a month, which is $5 million a year, and the $15 million that comes from the $600 that's spent on the employees' health and wellness, we generate about $20 million for every 100 company. Now, we're going to assume that the CEOs are going to renew that $600 in the second year and spend it again with us. And they're going to refer one CEO every year for the next 2 years. Now, as a result of that, we can generate a $600 million valuation within 3 to 5 years with just those assumptions. So let me go over this again very, very slowly. We're going to generate $20 million per 100 companies. Now, each 100 for America CEO refers one CEO to us per year so that we can work with them. And we're going to assume that each one of those CEOs renews that $600 spend in the subsequent year with us. And we're assuming that we, meaning EverHealth, does not sign up any other CEOs outside of just the referrals that comes from this first 100 CEOs. So with that, this is what happens. In the first year, we generate $20 million. In the second year, that $20 million gets renewed, and we have 100 new companies. We generate another $20 million, so that's a total of 40. And in the third year, those two sets renew, and we bring in another group of 100 companies, and now we have generated $60 million by the end of the third year. Now, the valuation of the company, we believe, can have an easy 10x multiplier because of being in the health and wellness industry, creating practice automation, creating a community of functional medicine doctors, using AI and the metaverse, and a business in a box with tax credit revenue renewals. All that should give us a 10x multiplier, giving us that $600 million valuation. Now, these revenues are not factoring in our own outreach to CEOs, which is crazy that why we wouldn't do it. We have a huge network of practitioners that can introduce CEOs to us. We have our exhibitors that can introduce CEOs. We have ambassadors, these are health and wellness professionals that work with us that can introduce CEOs to us. We have our own LinkedIn outreach. We have insurance brokers and CPAs and attorneys that can introduce CEOs to us, and obviously our own outreach to self-funded CEOs. Plus, these revenues are not factoring other EverHealth businesses that generate revenues, including our practitioner community membership fees, our WICO score licensing fees, our business in a box, our sale of technologies to practitioners, our conference revenues, and product sales directly to the consumer. So we're just assuming no value on any other level other than having 100 CEOs start with us, introduce one CEO every year, and over 3 years, building it up to 300 companies and generating the revenues purely from the tax credits. So how do we achieve the 27x return on investment? Well, we're assuming a $100,000 investment in EverHealth, assuming the third year there's $60 million in revenues, and we are saying that we get a 10x valuation on that 60 million, which gives us 600 million. And we've raised 10 million from 100 CEOs. Each one has invested 100,000. So if we give 45% of that 10 million to the CEOs, that gives them a $270 million equity position if we have a valuation of $600 million. And if they've invested $100,000, that gives them a 2.7 million return, which is a 27x return. Now that can vary based on at what stage of the valuation they get involved with us. But that is the absolute minimum that they can get because I'm not factoring all the other work that we can do on our own to increase the revenues, both in bringing CEOs and generating other revenues through the EverHealth programs. So the next step is to schedule a meeting for me to give you more details than what I just presented, because there's a lot of information there, and I'm sure there's a lot of questions. I want to answer all the questions and see if there's a good fit for your potential participation. And after that, I wanted to explain in more details the health services that we're offering for your investment to receive that immediate ROI. There's some amazing opportunities to not only reverse aging, restore health, and prevent disease and promote wellness that most practitioners out there don't know exist. Our business is to find the latest and the greatest technologies and introduce them to practitioners. So we have an incredible insight as to what's possible, and we want to kind of explain what the options are. And then we want to determine how much money we can generate for you through the tax credits that you can spend on your family and your employees' health and wellness. And ultimately, show you how we can create an incredible network of CEOs for strategic alliances, mentorship, partnerships, and business referrals. So if what I'm explaining here is of interest, please contact me so we can schedule a time and I can go through this in more detail, answer your questions, see if there's a fit. You can email me, al@everhealthusa.com. You can call me on my cell phone, 213-798-7400. Or you can call the office, but just somehow connect with me. You can also use that QR code to schedule on my calendar. I want to just thank everybody for taking the time to be on this call, and just let me know when we can connect, and we will go from there. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.